This here's Narrator Z, coming at you from the Narrator's Ledger, where the tales get wilder than a tornado in a trailer park. Tonight, I'm spinning a yarn about a sneaky little raccoon that turned my life upside down, stealing from my trash, busting into my house, pulling pranks like some furry bandit from hell. It started as a full-on feud, me swearing revenge on that masked menace, but dang if it didn't flip the script one fateful night. Buckle up, cause this one's got more twists than a backwoods road. Let's dive in. All right, y'all, gather round and let me paint you a picture of pure pandemonium. Name's Zeke, and I live out in the holler, deep in the southern pines where the nights are blacker than a moonshiner's heart. My little cabin ain't much. Got a porch swing that creaks like an old-timer's bones, a shotgun leaning by the door, and a trash bin out back that's supposed to keep the critters at bay. Supposed to, I say, 'cause one fine evening, as the fireflies started dancing like they owned the place, I heard a rustling that set my blood to boiling. I reckon it was 'bout dusk when I first laid eyes on that varmint. Trash lid flung open like it'd been hit by a twister, and there he was, big old raccoon, with eyes glowing like coals from the devil's forge. He had his paws deep in my garbage, munching on leftover chicken bones and scattering cans every which way. "Get out of there, you thieving trash panda!" I hollered, grabbing my broom and chasing him off into the bushes. But oh, that was just the beginning. That raccoon, I started calling him Bandit on account of his mask, he wasn't done with me. No siree. Next morning, I wake up to find my garden tore up worse than a bar fight on payday. Corn stalks yanked, tomatoes squished, and paw prints leading straight back to that dang trash bin. I fixed it up with a bungee cord, thinking I'd outsmarted the little rascal. But Bandit, he was one step ahead. Always. That night I hear scratching at the window. Peek out, and there he is, perched on the sill like he owns the joint, scratching at the window. I shoo him away thinking that solved it. But come daylight, my boots are missing from the porch. Found 'em later in the woods, chewed to bits. Games, y'all! That furry fiend was playing games with me. I declared war right then and there. "You done messed with the wrong guy, Bandit," I yelled into the night. I set up traps to catch that bandit, but that clever varmint dodged 'em all. One trap snapped shut on nothing but air. Another got flipped over and filled with mud like he was mocking me. Then, the real kicker, he found a way into my house. Must have squeezed through a loose board in the crawl space. I come home from town one evening, and the place is a disaster. Cabinets flung open, flowers scattered like snow, and my prized bottle of homemade shine tipped over and half drunk. That raccoon was staggering around my kitchen, eyes glassy, bumping into walls. I chased him out, screaming bloody murder, but not before he knocked over a candle and set the curtains smoldering. Had to douse it with a bucket of water, nearly burned the place down. From then on, it was time to get serious. No more Mr. Nice Guy, I tell you. I stayed up nights waiting with my gun, plinking at shadows. Built a fortress around the trash with chains and locks that'd make Fort Knox jealous. Even rigged up a scarecrow with bells and whistles to spook him. But Bandit, he turned it into a game. One time, he stole my keys. Dang near locked myself out for good. Found 'em dangling from a tree branch, like he was daring me to climb up. Oh, I just know he was watching while I went to get him down. Another time, he dragged my underwear from the clothesline and strung 'em up on the mailbox for the whole holler to see. Folks driving by honked and laughed. Hoo-wee! I was redder than a ripe tomato. I was fixin' to lose my mind, dreaming of coonskin caps and raccoon stew. I knew I had to step up my game if I was going to catch this fella. I set off firecrackers near his hiding spots to scare him off, but he'd just pop up elsewhere, knocking over my wood pile or stealing fish from my cooler. We were enemies, pure and simple. Me, the king of my castle, and him, the bandit trying to dethrone me. I swore I'd catch him, swore I'd end this feud once and for all. Plotted nets rigged to catch the varmint, baited with his favorite foods to steal, peanut butter and sardines. Waited in the dark, heart pounding like a jackhammer. But fate, she's a tricky old gal, ain't she? One stormy night, thunder crashing like the good Lord was bowling with boulders, I was out back checking my traps. There was rain pouring down in sheets, wind howling something fierce. I done slipped on the mud, tumbled down the ravine behind my cabin, steep drop, full of rocks and roots. Landed hard, twisted my ankle bad, and to top it off, a dang tree branch pinned me down. Couldn't move, couldn't yell loud enough over the storm. This is it, I thought. Zeke's done for, drowned in a mud puddle like a fool. That's when I heard it, scratching and chittering. Then as I'm wondering what that noise is, through the rain, Bandit appears, his mask dripping wet, eyes wide. He didn't run, no! He started digging at that branch, pawing and pushing with all his might. I was stunned, y'all. My sworn enemy, saving my hide? Man, I couldn't believe it. He gnawed at the smaller twigs, tugged with his teeth, and after what felt like forever, the branch shifted just enough for me to wiggle free. Limped back to the cabin with him trailing behind like a soggy shadow. From that night on, things changed quicker than a summer squall. I left out scraps on purpose. No more traps, no more chasing. Bandits started hanging around, not stealing, but watching. We'd sit on the porch, me sipping shine, him nibbling corn. Turns out he wasn't just a varmint. He was lonely, maybe, or just looking for a buddy in this wild world. I taught him tricks. Well, sorta. He'd fetch shiny things, bring 'em back like gifts. And me? I fixed up a little den for him under the porch, safe from the elements. Our feud turned to friendship, explosive as ever, but in a good way. We'd go on little adventures, him leading me to berry patches I'd never found, me sharing stories by the firelight. That raccoon saved my life, and in return, I reckon I saved his from being a lone wanderer. Ain't life funny like that? From trash-stealing terror to porch-sitting pal, Bandit became part of the family. Wild times, y'all. Wild times. Whew! What a roller coaster of a tale. From sworn enemies to the best of buddies. All thanks to one plucky raccoon and a stormy twist of fate. Hope that kept y'all entertained. If you enjoyed this wild ride, hit that like button and subscribe for more chaos from the Narrator's Ledger. Till next time, Keep your trash bins locked and your hearts open. That's another entry into the ledger, folks.